Welcome to the third part of inverse of functions. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to generate the inverse of functions or relation that is given to you as equations. In order to generate the inverse of equations, you have to follow these four basic steps. So the first is to replace the f of x with y. You need to solve the equation for x, switch the x and y, then replace the y with the inverse notation. So in this first example, we are asked to generate the inverse of f of s equals to 3x plus 2. So we need to replace the f of s with y in the first step. So y equals to 3x plus 2. Then we need to solve for x. So the way we solve for x is we want to move this 2 to the left to be able to isolate the x. So this becomes y minus 2 equals to 3x. Then we need to divide by 3 on both sides to be able to eliminate the 3 that is multiplying the x. So now our x is isolated. We have y minus 2 divided by 3. So we now need to switch the x and y. So you are only switching the x and y. You are not changing any other aspect of your equation. So the y becomes the x and the x becomes the y. So this becomes x minus 2 divided by 3 equals to y. So now we need to now write our solution using the inverse notation. And that is the answer. So I need you to practice generating the inverse of a linear function by using this question. So example 2. So we are asked to generate the inverse of negative 2/3 x plus 5. So the first step, again, we got to change the f of s to y, will be equals to negative 2/3 of x plus 5. Then we now need to solve for x. So I need to move this positive 5 to the left. It will become a negative. So y minus 5 equals to negative 2/3 x. So then I need to get rid of the 2/3 that is multiplying x. How do we get rid of that? We get rid of that negative 2/3 by multiplying both sides by the reciprocal, which will be the negative 3/2. So I will multiply that with negative 3/2. I use it to multiply the left. Then I'm going to use the negative 3/2 to multiply the right so that we maintain the balance of our equation. Whatever you do to the left, you do it to the right. So 3 goes in 3 one time, 2 goes in 2 one time. So now in this parenthesis, we have negative 1 multiplied by negative 1, then multiplied by x. So negative 1 multiplied by negative 1 will give us a positive 1 multiplied by x. So that gives us x, and that's what we wanted. So for the left, we can distribute it. We can distribute this negative 3/2 into the parentheses. So that will give us negative 3/2y. And now when you have negative 3/2 multiply negative 5, you're going to get positive 3/2 multiply 5. And you see the way I'm using parentheses. Use the parentheses so that you don't make a mistake. So negative 3/2y plus 15/2 will be equals to x. So we just switch the x and y to get our inverse equation. So it's going to be 3/2x plus 15/2 equals to y. And this is our inverse function. So you can just write that using the inverse notation. So the inverse of f of x will be negative 3/2x plus 15/2. And that is the correct answer. So I want you to practice this particular type of linear equation using this f of x. So generate the inverse of this f of x. So thank you so much, and please remember to subscribe.